Good afternoon, Major Stout. Good afternoon, fellow cadets. My name is Cadet Norby, and today I will be briefing you on the Bomber System Combat Officer's career. So, to review what I will be discussing, I will go over the daily tasks of a combat systems officer that specializes in bombers. I will also go over the basic qualifications that are required to become a bomber CSO, and finally I will go over the training that goes into becoming a bomber combat systems officer. So, to start, what are some of the basic tasks? Well, similar to a normal CSO, the bomber combat systems officer will be the one who is in charge of first preparing for the mission, as they will be the one that likely briefs the crew. And so they will first go over the objectives they need to complete. They will also be the navigator, so they need to be well versed in the different instruments that need to be used to successfully navigate the plane from point A to point B. And they will also be the one who is adapting in mission to new situations that arise, whether it's a storm that they need to navigate around or other obstacles that may be in their way. They will also be in charge of training the crew. So possibly at times where there's not a mission, since they will be often the commanding officer, they will be conducting practices as well as different things that they can also do to prepare for future missions. And finally, they will also be involved in developing plans and other procedures and things that they can use to then advise other commanding officers that may be in charge of the squadron or the wing. So next, what are some of the basic qualifications that are required? Well, first, they have the same health requirements as a normal CSO. You need to have normal color vision, correctable to 20/20. You also have to be in good, healthy shape, be able to pass the PFA and so forth. You also need to be able to have your bachelor's degree, same with all officers, and then complete the training required to commission as an officer, whether it's the ROTC course while attending college or the officer's training course. Other requirements: you have to be able to qualify for top secret clearance, and you have to have a current aeronautical rating as a navigator, so that shows that you have had the training required to navigate a plane. And going into training, what kind of training would be required of a bomber combat systems officer? Well, same as a CSO, they have to attend the training that allows them to be able to know how to use all of the different instruments and understand the different systems that they will be using in flight to command the mission, whether it's communication equipment, navigation equipment, weapon systems, electronic or bombing, as well as they need to be able to be trained specifically for the missions that they're completing. So you may have different missions that occur in different parts of the world, whether it's in the Middle East, in Africa, in Asia, and so forth. Every area is going to have different obstacles. I mentioned earlier that they need to be able to defend against weather possibilities. A bomber combat systems officer will also be trained in that. They'll be able to use different instruments to predict weather obstacles that may come up. They will be briefed before the mission as to what the weather in the area will be like, and they will need to react to some of those obstacles that may occur, whether it's a storm or poor visibility or other things that may affect whether or not they're able to successfully complete the mission. And going on to the official training that they have to receive, same as the combat systems officer, they have to be able to complete the specialized undergraduate navigator training or the undergraduate combat systems officer training, depending on the different path they take to becoming a combat systems officer, and then go on to specialize in doing those same tasks in a bomber instead of just a fighter or some other type of plane. In review, I have gone over the tasks required of a bomber combat systems officer, some of the qualifications that they need to meet in order to become one, and finally the training that goes into learning that career. Are there any questions?